I need to stop. I've been doing too much, I've been running too fast, I've been testing my luck. I've been living cloud nine, I've been at it all night, I've been feeling so loved. I've been waking up lit, I've been making up shit, I've been spilling my guts. I've been feeling so blessed, but stressed all day, so I'm living out my dreams like every night. I love my life.
Next up, we're going to lower the car finally. The rear I'm going to leave as is, then I'm going to lower the front. It's on BC Racing coilovers, so we can really set the height about to the millimeter right, how you want it. So I'm going to show you how you do it and how you're best measuring it, so you know exactly how much you need to go lower. We're next to the car. I'm finally going to be able to get rid of these wheels. Yes! I was really tired of them. I don't like the look, so that's a good thing. So as you can see, we have a little gap in the arch, and I don't like that. I want the arch of my cars to be flush with the tire, at least in the front. So we're gonna measure now how the complete height is from the fender and from the tire, and then see the difference, and that's what we're going to change on the coilover. So from the ground till the fender, we have 63.6 centimeters in height, and the tire comes to about, I would say, 60.5. So it's a gap of about 3 centimeters that we're going to lower it. But the different wheels, they have a different tire size. So I'm going to take one now and see the difference. Alright, so these are the tires. The aspect ratio is one step higher, so it's 60 instead of 55. These are 205 55/16s, and these are 205 60 15 inches. So take a look. The tire is actually a little bit bigger than this one. I actually expected it to be a little smaller, but either way it's okay. So now you see this gap, that's how much we're gonna lower it. So we're gonna measure. So I'm going to drop it 2 centimeters. Okay, the wheel is off. Now we're gonna loosen the coilover. Hopefully it's not seized, because I had that problem before, and it can be very difficult to get them loose. Then we're gonna start turning. Now, first we're going to measure how much we have, take 2 centimeters off, and then we know how much thread we need left. Another method you can use is you can first measure in between these two collars, and then set the collar, this one, at the height you want it at, and then you just have to screw everything down until this meets the bottom again. That's also how you can do it. Alright, now we fasten this again. It doesn't have to be super hard, just snug, because you want to get it loose. Like this is okay. So now it's actually already lowered. So with a good coilover like the BC Racing's, it's super easy to do. So now we're good. We're gonna put the other wheel on. I have these 15mm spacers. The wheels have an offset of 20, which is the same as the original for this car. But I like the wheels to stick out a little bit further, so with these, it's gonna sit like in the back, which is very nice if you ask me. So Okay, so both wheels are on. Now there's one more thing that I want to try, and these BC Racing coilovers, they have camber plates, and I basically want to play with the camber settings to see what it does with the wheel. It's gonna be a drift car, so a little bit in the camber in the front can't hurt, right? Little camber never killed nobody. So we have these 4 Allen keys that we need to loosen, and then we can slide the whole assembly left or right for more or for less camber. So yeah, we're gonna try and see what that does. So this is the most camber we can go. So I'm going to lower it like this and see if I like it or it is too much. We adjusted the camber to the max it can go in this setup. It's quite a bit of camber. I don't know if you can see it on camera very well, but it looks cool. But on the other hand, the wheels are now very sunk in, so that's not really the look I'm going for. But that's looking pretty good like this. But I think I'm going to put the camber back to how it was. So yeah, I don't know if you can see a bit, but yeah, I'm gonna change it back. So the wheels come out a bit further on top, and when I'm really going to go drifting, then I can always adjust it. It's like a 1-minute job. So. In the meantime, I got another set of wheels. They are original BMW wheels by BBS. They are BMW style 80, original E29 wheels, 17 by 8 E28. I had these wheels before on my E36. I think they are really cool and underappreciated. They have like a classic look, but it's still something on its own. It's something different. So they're a bit rough. This one's actually pretty good. As you can see, the other 3, they're all very corroded or oxidized or whatever. Probably oxidized. And the clear coat is basically completely coming loose. So we're gonna take out. They are 2-piece. As you can see, all the bolts. We're gonna take out the centers of those 3 and completely sand the lips. They don't have to shine like chrome, but just a little bit like this. And I'm going to run them on the E28. So it's a lot of work to sand. I'm gonna have to do it by hand because I don't have the proper tools to do it mechanically. So yeah, elbow grease. Alright guys, so we're heading off to pick up my wheels. They are finished. I brought them to a guy to get the lips sanded because they were very corroded. You will see it in the video. I started doing it myself, but yeah, it wasn't really working that great, and I was also out of sandpaper, which is not really a good excuse. But yeah, I thought I'm never going to be able to get this how I want it to look without spending like 50 hours on it or something crazy. I know sanding wheels takes a lot of time, but it's one of those things that I really don't like to do. And I don't know if it's just me, but in general I think when you have to do something you don't like, you're automatically going to do a poor job, or not a very poor job, but no, you put in a little bit less effort. So I decided to find a guy that is local. He does it not professional, just also at home. But I figured I would just pay, you know, a little bit of money to get them done properly than having to do it myself, and it's still not looking great. So yeah, so we're gonna pick them up right now. It's only a 15 minutes drive from my home, and yeah, it's just the lips I gave in. So together with the barrels, the faces I kept. And then tomorrow morning I'm going to mount the faces, build the wheels up again, and get tires for them. They're already waiting at the guy I go to for my tires. He already has them for like a week or two, or maybe even longer. But yeah, my wheels also took a little bit longer. And then tomorrow we'll put those on and then test fit them on the car. And I hope they'll give me just a little bit boost to finish up the swap, and then yeah, everything will be sound and we can finally race with a good looking car. So yeah, I'm very excited to finally make that happen. Good morning, it's a new day. So last night we picked up our wheels, so here they are, nice and shiny. So they're not perfect. The guy did them by hand, and basically they were oxidized a little bit too far, so a bit too far gone to completely fix them by hand. But I'm glad with the result. I will just need to yeah, regularly go over it with a metal polish. But I'm happy. It didn't have to be absolutely perfect, as it's for my yeah, my beater car. So yeah, just going to mount the centers now with I believe it's 20 bolts, and then I'm gonna give them to the guy that does I'm gonna give him to the guy that does my tires. Okay guys, I'm going to explain you what exactly I'm doing. So first of all, we have to clean all the threads inside the barrel with a tapper. Just go into all the holes to get all the sanding dust out of it and clean up the threads. That way the bolts go in very nicely, or at least a lot nicer. So that's step one. Then I put on the heart in place, line it up with the holes, and now I have all these bolts, but they are still full of yeah, old thread locker. So you need to clean that off as well. So I take a vice grip, put them in the vice grip, and then with a wire brush, brush out or brush off the old thread locker. Just like that. Now the head of the bolt is still dirty, so to fix that, I take a pad like this with some metal polish and just twist the bolt into the metal polish. It will clean it off, and the product will also make it shine a little bit. So yeah, the more you do it, the more it will shine, but for me this is enough. So now we have a clean bolt. Then we take thread locker. This is a medium strength Loctite. Apply a little bit on the bottom threads, and then put the bolt into the hole and make sure with your fingers you feel that you have thread. Then I use the machine to just put them all the way down, and I work in a triangular pattern. That way the face gets seated evenly. Do not start on one side and go around, because then it could be that the face will be crooked and then your wheel is not going to go straight and you'll have a terrible wobble. So I do like this. So the triangular motion, and then the wheel gets seated nice and evenly. And then when all of this is done, I'm gonna go with just a wrench and torque everything. Well, not to spec, because I don't have a torque wrench, but just to the feel. You don't want to over tighten these or snap them, because then you're in for a real treat. You have just to be nice and tight, because Loctite, they will not come loose. So you don't want your faces falling off. So don't be afraid, you can use some force but not too much. And that's basically it. So I have this one to go and then 2 more, and then it's time for tires. Et voila! These are the new babies. So basically BMWs, especially the older ones, from factory, they always are a bit nose down. And if you would set the height based on the arch, so if you have the same, how do I say this, the same wheel gap, then they're always going to be nose down, and I'm not really a fan of that look. I think it's really cool when the car is flat and really slammed. So basically it will tuck maybe wheel, no, I'm not gonna lower it that much I think, but it will tuck tire in the back, and then here just as low as, we keep drivability of course. The thing is, when I adjusted the coilovers, I set them on the same height, but it's actually lower on the right than it is on the left. So in the left I would lower it like a centimeter more, and when I go to the right, it's actually on the height that I wanted. So I'm gonna leave this side as is. First do the front left, and then when that is done, I'm gonna see how much I need to lower it in the back. It's going to be quite a lot. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a quick time lapse. I already explained you guys how to do it and how it's done, so you don't need to hear it twice. So I was thinking what the best option was to level it out. And basically you have that body line, this one, that runs all along the car, and I think if I measure the ground to that line, then I'm gonna get a pretty even car. So I'm gonna see how much difference that is. Okay, the difference between the lines is 8.5 centimeters. So it's quite a lot. I'm not gonna lower it the full 8.5. I think I'll do 6, then see how it looks. So that's one side done. I actually bottomed out the coilover. So I always measure the threads like I explained. And they were at 7.7 centimeters. And I wanted to go down to 2. So that's a drop of about 5.7 centimeters. But it wouldn't allow me to go further than, I believe it was 3.2. Whatever. So 3.2 is basically bottomed out. So yeah, didn't turn it all the way down so that it would seize down there, just a few turns up. But that's the lowest it will go in the back. It's already an improvement. It's gonna lower a bit more, of course, when it settles again. But yeah, so basically that's how it's gonna sit. I could go lower by ordering other shock bodies. But yeah, shock absorber bodies with yeah, just smaller ones. But I'm not really going to spend my money at it. It's not needed or anything, so yeah, it's not gonna happen at this point of time. Don't get me wrong, I would love to go lower, but I think this is going to be already, yeah, just a nice, nice midpoint. So let's do the other side. Okay, so here we have it, guys. Both sides are done. I really like it. It's a lot better already. Some of you probably won't like it, but yeah, it's still my car after all. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. And yeah, pretty soon we're hopefully finally going to be able to drive around in it. And that's when the real fun will start. So yeah, hang in there, subscribe if you like what you see, and I hope to catch you next time. Peace.